No one tells you that after 55, the most dangerous enemy isn't illness or age, it's silence, the one that saps your energy without you even realizing it. If you've ever felt this way, stay with me until the end. Because here we talk about the battles every man faces, but almost no one has the courage to admit. Sign up and don't walk this journey alone. No one prepares you for silence after 55. There's no manual, no advance warning. One day you realize the house is quieter than it should be. The clock on the wall seems to speak louder than anything else. The chair next to the dinner table is empty. The phone, which used to ring for no reason, now remains still, as if it's forgotten it exists. This silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a silence that weighs heavily. It fills the spaces of the house and little by little begins to fill your chest as well. It doesn't matter if you were a strong, hard-working man, someone who supported a family, raised children, faced hardships without complaint. When that time comes, when routine changes and life slows down, loneliness enters through the door without asking permission. Retirement, which seemed like a reward after so many years of effort, often arrives like a thief. It steals the purpose that got you out of bed. It steals the rhythm that made you feel useful. The days stretch out, and suddenly you have too much time on your hands but no meaning to fill it. And friends, some are gone. Others have lost their way. Each one goes on with their own life, their own family, their own problems. That after-work chat, that pleasant sound of close people becomes a memory. Even family, so present in other phases, seems more distant. Busy children, grandchildren growing at a different pace, quick messages that don't replace real contact. And then you silently ask yourself, is this it? Is this where I've arrived? And that question hurts. If you're experiencing something similar, I need to tell you, it's not weakness. It's not shame. It's human. Many men face this same battle hidden behind closed doors. And maybe you've never talked about it with anyone because you've learned that men don't complain, that men can endure in silence. But the truth is that silence, when left unbroken, becomes a powerful enemy. Imagine with me a scene many are familiar with. Night falls, the window reveals only darkness outside. Inside the house, you sit in the armchair, turn on the television, but don't even pay attention to what's playing. The sound is there, but it doesn't fill the void. You look at the clock again. Another hour has passed, and tomorrow it will probably be the same. This is the silence no one tells you about. It's not about the lack of noise. It's about the lack of life pulsing around you. It's like being present in the world, but not feeling like the world is present in you. But let me tell you something important. You're not alone in this experience. It may seem that way, but thousands of men feel exactly what you're feeling right now. And recognizing this is the first step, because loneliness loves secrecy. It thrives in the shadows. And when we start putting words to what we feel, we already begin to chip away at its power. How loneliness creeps. In loneliness doesn't suddenly enter. It doesn't knock on the door announcing its arrival. It seeps in slowly, like water seeping through a crack you barely notice. At first, it seems like a mild inconvenience, but over time, it gradually takes hold. In the body, it manifests as fatigue that won't go away. You fall asleep, but wake up feeling drained. It's as if your internal battery never fully recharges. Walking a few blocks starts to feel heavier than it should. Your back aches, your shoulders heave, and your stride loses its spring. In the mind, it acts like rust on a stored tool. No matter how strong you once were, alone, even the toughest weakens. Irritation flares up at small things. Mood swings. The desire to leave the house diminishes, and without realizing it, you find yourself rejecting invitations, postponing meetings, and isolating yourself further and further. And this isn't just fleeting sadness, it's science. Prolonged loneliness increases the risk of high blood pressure, weakens the immune system, accelerates heart disease, and even memory loss. It's as if each day without connection is slowly extinguishing the flame of vitality. And here's the trap. Many men believe they need to wait for someone to come along and pull them out of this situation. They wait for a call from a child, a visit from a friend, an invitation to a date. But loneliness loves this waiting. It grows stronger when you stay still. The enemy is invisible, but the signs are there. The body is more tired than it should be. The mind, unwilling to plan for tomorrow. A heavy heart, even for no apparent reason. The clock that seems to run too slowly. And if you recognize these signs, it's not a reason to be afraid. It's a reason to feel clarity. Because now you know it's not just age fatigue. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's loneliness rearing its ugly head. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait to be rescued. You don't have to rely on someone to pull your hand. The first step can, and should, come from you. And when that happens, the rust starts to come off, the energy starts to return, and the silence begins to lose its power. How to reverse the game. If loneliness is like rust that slowly corrodes, recovery is like repolishing metal. It's not a single blow that transforms everything. It's a process of small gestures that together restore shine, energy, and meaning. And here's the secret. You don't need to wait for a major change from the outside. The game begins to change when you decide to take small, consistent steps that create movement. Because movement is life, and when you move, loneliness loses its power. 1. Take back something that was once your pride. Think of a skill, a hobby, an old passion that's been tucked away in the drawer of life. It could be playing the guitar, tinkering with tools, caring for plants, drawing, writing, cooking, fishing. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's something that once made you feel alive. When you revive a skill, you also revive a part of your identity. It's not just about occupying time. It's about reminding yourself of who you are. Imagine a man who, after years, retunes his guitar. At first, the strings are out of tune, his fingers ache. But within a few days, that tune he knew by heart begins to emerge again. And along with the music, a smile that hadn't appeared in a long time. 2. Small daily contacts. Loneliness thrives on isolation. Therefore, every small human contact is like a blow to it. It could be chatting with a neighbor while watering the plants, saying hello at the bakery, joining a neighborhood walking group, or even interacting in an online community of like-minded people. Don't underestimate the power of a simple exchange of words. A sincere good morning may seem small, but it opens a door to something bigger. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. 3. Use your body as a bridge. Your body is the most direct tool you have to reconnect with life. Walking, doing light exercise, participating in groups that practice simple physical activities. All of these get you moving and at the same time connecting with others. It doesn't have to be a gym workout. It doesn't have to be anything intense. It can just be a walk in the park, a couple of laps around the block, sitting on a park bench and observing the world around you. When the body moves, it also unlocks the mind. 4. Create small routines on purpose. One of the hardest blows of retirement or a slower life is losing the feeling of being useful. So, create small routines that restore that usefulness. It could be tending a garden, helping a family member with chores, or volunteering for a local project. Being useful isn't just about giving something to the world. It's also about reminding yourself that you still matter, that your presence makes a difference. 5. Rebuild your dignity with conscious choices. Don't see these steps as asking for help. See them as taking back control. You're not a man who needs rescuing. You're a man who still has a lot inside him, but who needs to choose to make room for that energy to circulate again. It's like rekindling a fire. At first, all it takes is a spark, a small puff, a dry twig. And suddenly, the flame grows. Closing with hope, loneliness is strong, but you are stronger. The enemy is invisible, but its strength can be visible in the choices you make, the steps you take, the contact you seek. The first step isn't pretending nothing is happening. It's looking this silence in the face and saying, I'm still here, and I'm going to live again. And when you take that step, you discover you're not alone. Other men are going through the same struggle and need to see that it's possible to fight back. So I say to you, share your story. If you've been through something similar, write in the comments, not to expose yourself, but to show that there are voices, that there are real men facing the same invisible enemy. Because when you speak out, another man finds courage. And subscribe to the channel here, because this is the space where we talk about the battles that almost no one talks about, but that we all, in silence, feel firsthand. If there's one thing life after 55 teaches you, it's that loneliness doesn't ask for permission. It creeps in slowly, steals your energy, obscures your will to live, and makes you believe it's just part of getting older. But it's not. Loneliness isn't destiny. It's an invisible enemy that only vanquishes when you pretend it doesn't exist. And I know it's hard to admit. Because many of us grew up believing that a real man doesn't show weakness, doesn't talk about pain, doesn't ask for help. But let me tell you something true. Recognizing loneliness isn't weakness, it's courage, it's strength. It's the first step toward taking back what's yours, your energy, your dignity, your life. The clock may tell the time, the chair may be empty, the phone may not ring, but none of that defines who you are. You can still rekindle your purpose, seek connection, move your body and mind. You can still choose not to be a prisoner of silence. And when you take that step, you discover something powerful. You are not alone. There are thousands of men going through the same struggle, and the more we speak out, the more we break down the walls of this invisible enemy. So, I want to invite you to do two things right now. Share in the comments if you've ever felt this loneliness. Your voice could be the spark that ignites courage in another man. Subscribe to the channel, because here we break the silence. Here we talk about the battles that many hide, but that we all need to face. Remember, loneliness is strong, but you are stronger.